who are performing the wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan. Please follow along if you can. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Radha Ma Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Kalachandji Radha Kalachandji Radha Jai Gauranitai 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Shri Radha Kalachandji Bhagwan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone, and it's really an honor to be here. And thank you all for attending the beginning of our Sunday feast. I think we had a little bit of a japa session. Exciting times coming. We have the month of Kartik coming up starting tomorrow. Yes? And the entire mood of the temple completely changes. So let's have, there is not a reason why you can't raise your hands in the middle of this discussion and ask for clarification, concerns, comments, questions, and let's see what we can do in this little bit of session. I beg the blessings of my senior devotees, senior God brothers, God sisters, and several other devotees here who are tolerating me being on stage, and I beg the permission of all the kids so that we can speak a little bit about the month of Kartik. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namagyanatimmirandhasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshushrunmalitanena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Prabhupada. So when we start our spiritual life, at the very beginning, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna starts this entire discussion around understanding that we are the eternal souls. Who are we? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu elaborates on that in his discussion with Sanatan Goswami, and he mentions that Jivera Swarupa Krishna Nityadas. That eternally every spirit soul is part and parcel of Krishna and loves to serve him. Now this is theory, yes, it's very good to read about it. But what does that translate to when it comes to our daily lives? Yes, what does it actually mean to understand that we are not these bodies? Anything? What does that mean? What does it actually mean? Yes, because our activities speak louder than our words. How we do things, how we interact with each other, what is the priorities in our life? How do we take care of our families? How do we work? Can be done in two different ways. Do you agree? One is done with the understanding that we are not these bodies, and other is done with the understanding that we are these bodies. If someone calls you a fool, how would you react? If someone calls you, you're such a great person, you're the most wonderful person on the planet, how would you react? If someone tells you, you are the best singer on the planet, how would you react? If someone tells you, you're worse than the worm in the stool of a hog, how would you react? Right? And how we react is based on where we are in our consciousness. Yes. where how much do we understand really who we really are? And when we do, each and everything that we do is molded by that consciousness. Do you agree? Are you still with me? Why am I saying this? Spiritual life it's a very beautiful thing that is our very constitutional nature. It is not different. We don't have to make a deliberate attempt to do something different to incorporate spirituality in our lives. The fact that we live, you're conscious, you're already understanding to some extent that we are spirit. But the manifestation of that, when it comes to our daily activities, requires practice. It requires realization and understanding of what it actually means to be spirit souls. In the month of Kartik, there are several things that happen. In a lot of situations, we talk about the month of Kartik as the month of Damodar, where Yashoda, and we have a picture in the back over there, she's tying Krishna with a rope. And we will discuss that just in a little bit. But I wanted to step back a little bit and talk about what happened at one of the first things that happens after the Sharat Purnima, which is when the Rasa dance, the Rasa Leela is being performed, which is the dance of eternal love between the Lord and his devotee. Does anyone remember which demon, or rather demoniac personality, appeared just immediately after the Rasa dance? A different pastime. It's Aristasura. Yes, Arista, wonderful personality, but with a lot of siddhis. He had achieved great yogic powers. He was able to do wonderful deeds. He had performed austerities for hundreds and thousands of years and gained great power, great wealth, great influence. If social media was there, Aristasura would probably be an influencer. Yes, he would have millions of followers. But Aristasura had a problem, and he had a problem with Krishna. He could not tolerate to see Krishna enjoying. Now we just finished Vijaya Utsav, right? We just finished Dashera, where we see pretty much the same kind of situation with Ravan doing the same thing with Ram, right? He couldn't tolerate that Sita was to be the property of someone else. He wanted Sita to be for himself. Yes. And we see that he got destroyed in the process of trying to enjoy what belonged to Sri Ram. Lord himself, who comes in the form of the ideal husband and the ideal king. Aristasura pretty much had the same propensity. Now, we have to get into the mood of Aristasura, and it's not going to be very difficult. We want to enjoy what belongs to Krishna. Let's get into that a little bit. Right. Are we doing that now? Anyone? Anyone here enjoys what belongs to the Lord? We have one, Mother Antaryami, in the back. Yes. We want What doesn't? Let's just put it this way. Let's ask this question in a different way. What does not belong to Krishna that belongs to you? Your free will. Okay. Anything else? Your false ego. Maybe not. Krishna says in the Gita, Bhumir aponalavayo kham mana buddhi evacha ahankara iti me bhinna prakriti ashtada. He says, these are mine energies. Huh? Materialistic things are not yours. Spiritual things are yours? Depends on you. Right, so now, what does belong to you that doesn't belong to? Your mind, your soul is yours. If your mind was yours, have you ever seen your mind not being in your control? Have you ever seen your mind not being under your control? Everything material does belong to the Lord, and the mind is just one of them. The spirit soul, Krishna says, Mamai Vansha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. The eternally, everyone is mine, my parts and parcels. Yes, so even our souls belong to Krishna in that sense. It's really amazing, right? Because there's really little that we can call our own. But do we give everything that we have to Krishna? How many of us have bank accounts? And if Krishna says, okay, everything belongs to me, we still hold on. Do we not? Yes, do we not? Not saying give up your bank accounts yet. Let's finish this story here. Yes, but at least work with me here. Yes. What we have is, as our beloved temple president Nrsimharupa Prabhu was saying, we have the choice to decide how we want to act in a way that is aligned with the will of the Lord. We have the opportunity and the choice to decide how we want to act. How do we want to use our mind? How do we want to use our intelligence? How do we want to use our ahankar? How do we want to use our finances? How do we want to use our relationships? And those choices are not easy, are they? Very difficult choices. Each and every day we are faced with these choices, and how am I going to live in a way that is aligned with the will of the Lord? And hence the Lord provides the scriptures, the Lord provides opportunities to serve those that have understood the science of how to align ourselves to the wish and the will of the Lord. And as the saints, the gurus, he sets up an entire system called the Parampara system. Right? So Aristasura essentially had all the powers. He had everything that you could ask for, but he did not want to utilize it in the service of the Lord. And he did things in a very interesting way. Now, in the Vedic system, there are a few animals that are considered very, very auspicious and pious. Anyone want to give some? The cow, and of course, the male cow, the bull, yes. So Aristasura decided to come to change his form into the form of a bull. Yes. Someone that represents dharma externally, but internally wants to do everything against the laws of dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranita. Yes. Savai pumsha paro dharma yato bhakti radhok sajay. The perfection of religion is to offer our hearts and souls to God. But instead, Arastasura wanted to kill God and take away all the gopis, all the cowherd girls for himself. He wanted to destroy the entire town of Vrindavan. So, understand this. Are we sometimes acting to be aligned with the principles of religion, with the principles of dharma, but internally we're not exactly sure we want to do this? Yes, think about it. And I can think of a million times that I do this. Like I'm sitting here and talking to you about this, and I know that there is a lot that I have to do before I can get there. But think about instances. I can give you several instances in my situation, right? You come to the Lord, you come to the temple, we come to the temple, and I'm basically praying for everything for my own self. Instead of actually coming to the Lord, we're coming to the house of the Lord. If you go to someone's house, who you love, apparently, do we go there for our benefit or for theirs? So I struggle with this every day, right? But at least by the grace of the devotees in the community, you kind of level set yourself, kind of understand, where are we going with this? Can I get a little bit better? But are there instances in your life where you think that we're acting dharmically, we are acting according to religious principles? I know this is right, because according to the Shastra, this is what it is. But internally, you go back to secluded place in your own home and all of this goes away. Internally, we are not completely convinced about those things. I don't want you to give an answer, get into uncomfortable situations here. But this is Arastasura. Externally posing to be extremely dharmic, a bull, which is revered by the Shastra. But internally, destroyed. There are 4 principles of dharma that the scriptures talk about. Yes, the 4 pillars, not pillars, pillars. Pillars of dharma. Anyone want to give it a shot? What those 4 pillars are? Yes. English? Austerity, mercy, compassion, truthfulness, saucha, cleanliness, purity, right? 4 primary principles of dharma: internal and external. Yes. And these principles erode over time. It is actually our prerogative to internalize and understand where we are on these dharmic steps, if I may, and figure out how can I improve the foundations of my own dharmic life. The month of Kartik is an opportunity for us to do exactly that. To realign our priorities so that we don't pose to be someone who we are not. The month is also called the Urja Vrata month, because it comes after Srimati Radharani's name, who is also known as Urjeshwari. We have Mother Urjeshwari, she's in the gift shop. Yes. But Radharani's name is Arjeshwari, and her austerities are extremely powerful. But to realign ourselves with these principles of Dharma requires us to really go deep into our hearts and understand where we are on these dharmic principles. Where am I in my own purity? Am I clean internally and externally, properly? What does that mean? Are our thoughts pure? When we say something, are we duplicitous? Or are we saying things as they are? Are we saying things so that others will be happy? Are we saying things just because it will give us better recognition, I guess? Is it just because people will then say, oh, you're such a great person? Because we said it. We don't believe in it, but we said it. Or are we really truthful, pure in our intentions, if I may, when we are saying it? Are we compassionate in our dealings with each other? Or are we stuck to being right? Are we stuck to being saying that I know better than you do? The entire world is burning because of these situations, isn't it? To factions, to communities, to religions, to nations, basically saying people on both sides. You wouldn't distinguish one from the other. Children. But just because I don't believe in what you believe in, and I think what I believe in is better than what you believe in, hence you should die. Where is compassion? Are we willing to take a little bit of an extra step to understand the situations that we are going through? Now this is at a large scale. Does that happen with us? I know that my wife, if she was sitting in the class, would hit me with a tomato. Because that happens there too. It happens with children. Are we willing to understand each other in a way that is compassionate? Kshama. Are we willing to forgive? Are we willing to forgive ourselves? Are we willing to forgive others? These are questions. Kartik is a time to ask these questions. Now, I'm not asking you to ask these questions to someone else. You should take guidance, but ask these to yourself. It's beautiful because the answers to those questions are the keys to our own happiness. Guaranteed. Money back. And if to the extent that we neglect these questions, to that extent we are drifting away from what really is the treasure of our heart. Are we truthful in our dealings with each other? I know I am not. Especially my wife asks me how much chocolate I had. When a boss asks you, is this project done? Oh yeah. Or when you get into an accident and the cop asks you, whose fault was it? Or if the tax collector asks you, have you paid taxes for everything? Are we truthful? These are internal questions that we need to ask, because this is who Arastasura represents. This is who this personality whose tendencies have become demoniac represents. Posed to be dharmic, externally very religious person, very spiritual person, but internally very, very hollow. Even for those of us who are seeking a spiritual path, are we truthful in actually wanting to understand spirituality, or are we just, as someone calls it, spiritual shoppers? Have you heard that word? I mean, have you heard spiritual seekers? We go about window shopping for spirituality. Oh, this is great. I like this part of this side, but I don't like that part of that side, and I like this side. No, are we serious about spirituality? Or are we just shopping around? Oh, fine, after some time I'm just going to let go of this. This is fine. But I'm not going to be serious in accepting someone who can hold my ears and tell us this is not the right path. Am I going to just stay on the periphery of spirituality, or are we going to really take this seriously? Because guess what? We don't have much time. Are we going to be stuck to our own beliefs, saying that I know everything about spiritual life, I'm just making sure that the others in this temple also know? I ask myself this question every single day, right? And it's sometimes these answers, you don't want to hear them internally. It's kind of difficult. And austerity, are we willing to accept austerity? And do you know what the greatest austerity is? Austerity of speech, yes. Bhakti works on the platform at the very, very foundational level. This is the beauty of devotion. You know where it works on? It's the only one that works on that platform. It works on the platform of the false ego. The ahankar, the false ego that misidentifies, and we come back full circle here, that I am not this body, I am the soul. We keep identifying with the body and everything that comes with the body, and that identity that we have created and everything that goes around it is on the level of the body, and the ahankar is the one that's the sticky thing that makes us think that I'm man, woman, black, white, rich, poor, Indian American, all these designations are what really stick and prevent us from understanding who we really are. So the austerity is to actually not identify with all of this. The austerity of the false ego. To actually drain our ahankar, our false ego. When someone tells you, you are crazy, you're stupid, you're this, that, and the other, it hurts. Why does it hurt? The soul is never affected by all of this. It hurts because we identify with the false ego. When someone tells you you're Palestinian and you're Israeli, then it hurts. When someone tells you Pakistani and Indian, it hurts. When you are on the opposite party, you're calling me this? What do you mean by this? If someone calls you black or white or whatever else you want to identify, it hurts. Why? So this is the month where we actually step back, realize none of this, all of this doesn't even make sense to us. And the way to do that is to actually be more positive in our relationships and our interactions with each other. So the austerity, one of the things a wonderful devotee told me, that the austerity that I'm going to perform during this month is to not find faults with anyone else. And I said, okay, I'll do that too. It took me about 15 minutes. And I finished. Right. I won't find faults with anyone else. You see someone, why is he dressed like this? And why is she speaking like this? And why is this like this, and why are they eating like this, and oh, he's eating meat, oh, he's doing this and he's doing that. Yes, but I am so great. Yes. So these are the austerities that we perform. So to actually come back to this understanding, how do we not become arastasuras? How do we not become these demons internally, being so very different from who we pose to be externally? And this is the key to entering into the heart of Krishna. Yes. Rishabdev is speaking to his son. What is it? Nayam deha deho bhajam naraloke kashtan kaman arhati vidbhujame tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam. Yes. They were performing all these different things, working like asses and donkeys, and just for the sake of the body. The real austerity, tapo divyam, the real austerity is the austerity of the false ego. But though that is the real principle, that is the reason we have the human form. And when we are able to sit on that dharmic platform, where our external and internals are not different, we are who we are, then Krishna is willing to accept us. When we are purified within our consciousness, when we are purified within our heart, when we are truthful in our dealings, when we are compassionate, then Krishna is willing to accept us as we are. He guides us to the lotus feet of a pure devotee. Yes, Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays, Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajananu Kula Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Premalatikara Mula. Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi, the greatest perfection is the service of the devotees. Prema Latikara Mula. Latika is a creeper. The creeper of love for God. Its root is the service of the devotees. Not just great devotees, but everyone who's trying their best. All of you, each other. The essence of Kartik is to then come together in the mood of service to each other. And allow that to stay as Kartik ends. For those who are serious in spiritual life, Kartik is the beginning of what is going to happen for the rest of the year. It kind of provides impetus for us to essentially move on. Because the stakes are pretty high. Yes. What you get is something really, really amazing. Every day the devotees will come together and pray. What do we pray? I do not want liberation. I do not want any opulences. I just wish that your childhood pastimes, my dear Krishna, may ever be enacted in my heart. But that heart has to be solidly situated on spiritual dharmic principles. And when that happens, we are able to bind Krishna with our love. Yes, Narottam Das Thakur prays, Vishaya chhadiya kabe shuddha habe mana. Kabe hum heribo Shri Vrindavana. Wish and Vishaya. Wish is poison. And within our heart, we carry this poison. And when we take that poison out, then it becomes a wonderful place for Krishna to sit. Our place becomes Vrindavan, the place where Krishna performs his pastimes. But no one's going to tell you, oh, you got poison in your heart. I can see it, No, no one's going to tell you that. You have to really see. You have to taste your own consciousness. How do we feel when we hurt someone else? And if we feel happy, we got a long way to go. If we feel a little bit of distress, we have less way to go. A Vaishnava is paradukha dukhi. As a definition of a devotee is one who feels sorrow, sad, to see others sad. I want to see, this is probably even more harder, yes. Actually be happy to see others happy. So we have to taste, are we feeling happy when I see someone else being glorified? And are we happy glorifying others? Amanena manadena. Are we happy giving respects to others even though we don't feel or are not given respect? Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the crux of what we are supposed to be. Tranadapi sunichena taroreva sahishnana amanena manadena. These are the principles that we have to be humbler than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, able to offer all respects to others, but expect none, no respect. Even if they don't give you a plate to get prasadam, you will not feel offended. Are we there? And I'm not saying we are supposed to be there, but at least is that our aspiration? Because only then, Kirtaniya Sadhari, then we'll be in ecstasy chanting the names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada is inviting us to be leaders of the society, each and every one of you in this room. And that is only going to happen when we are able. Purity is the force. Purity is the force. Purity of our intentions. And Kartik is the month where we go deep and try to see how we can get to the next level. Just a little bit. And then to the next level. Just a little. And help each other get to the next level. And guess what happens? It snowballs into an entire community growing together, helping each other. Instead of just thinking about our own purification, we are thinking of, how am I going to help someone else? Even if nothing else, how am I going to be praying for someone else? Or am I just going to be praying for myself? And when that happens, Krishna personally becomes indebted to us. This devotee is not thinking about himself. Prahlad, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was offering benedictions to Vasudeva Datta, he's a leper. His entire body is emaciated. There are worms that are eating his body. And when a worm used to fall out of his body, he used to take that worm, put it back. No, I'm not saying do this. Thinking, the worm has as much rights to my body as I do. How can I not? How should I feel more privileged? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked into his heart. He was not just doing it externally to show off. And embraced him. All his leprosy went away. And then he started crying. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking, why are you crying? He says, when I was in an emaciated state, no one would look at me. They would neglect me. No one would glorify me. But now that you have given me this mercy, I will be glorified as someone who is dear to the Lord. And that will make me proud. I don't want that. I would rather be a leper. Now that's a very high state of consciousness. Not there. But what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said is even more greater. He said, your humility is such that I am completely purchased by it. I will be known as Vasudeva Datta's man. You can do whatever you want to do with me. This is the Lord. He doesn't care about how much we put in the donation box. He doesn't care about how many, I chanted 64 rounds today. He doesn't care about how many books we know and read. How many hours of service we did. He's looking within our heart. Yes. It's beautiful. That's why it's beautiful. And he's saying, how much do you really love me? Do you come to me for yourself, or do you come to me for me? Because you really love me. And when he sees that love within the heart, and he sees that manifest in our interactions with each other and with everything around, then he's sold. Completely sold. Wholesale. Finished. He does not even maintain his own free will. As Darshan Rupa was saying, we have our own free will. The Lord gives up his own free will and becomes subordinate to the will of the devotee. That is what is at stake. And all it does, all it requires is to go within our heart and remove that which is hurting us. The poison. Take it out. Kick it out. Take the shelter of a pure devotee. We have Srila Prabhupada here within our mission. And those that have followed him are giving us the opportunity to really ask very deep questions and understand, how can I get to the next level? And when we do that, it becomes very, very wonderful. Our heart becomes lamps. Our hearts become lamps, not lambs, lamps, that we can offer to the Lord. Yes, there's one thing about offering the little lamb that we put on a ghee stick. Yes, that is beautiful. What the Lord is looking for is, are our hearts like these beautiful lamps that we offer to the Lord? Yes. Can we light them? Om Ajnana Tamirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Yes, the spiritual master lights the lamp of knowledge within our heart. So allow yourself. Take the next step. Take a little bit of a vrata, a vow that says, I will do this in Kartik. Not the external so much. That's required. Devotees fast, devotees eat only once, maybe not eat at all. Devotees don't eat certain things. Maybe if you like some things, you're saying, Krishna, I'm not going to have that. I know a devotee saying, I'm not going to have pizza during the month of Kartik. I'm not going to eat sweets. That's wonderful. But also have a vow internally. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say anything that hurts someone. When I feel proud about certain things, I will stop there and be grateful for the abilities that have been given to me. These are wonderful vows. Catch yourself trying to break those, and then everything will be successful. So I'm going to stop here. I think I have 13 minutes for any corrections, comments, questions. Anyone? Is everyone asleep yet? Yes, Prabhu. नेहा विक्रम नासोस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पम अप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायत्य महतो भयात्. What does that mean? Yes, a little endeavor. Neha vikrama nasos. There is not even a slightest diminution if you decide to follow a spiritual practice. Even if you leave your body, it stays with you. All the austerities we perform in the material side are going to go away. But the internal austerities Krishna watches. He writes it down. Oh, look, this devotee did not lie. Alright, good job. Did I answer your question? Thank you, Prabhu. I didn't even let you finish your question. I'm sorry. Anything else? Just do it. Nike, right? Just do it. Better. What's the opposite of humble? Hostile? Yeah, hostile. Arrogant. Catch yourself when we are in that situation. That's good enough. Just observe and see what happens. Yes. It's not. This is our nature. It's not contrary. We feel happy being humble. Humble doesn't mean thinking oneself less. But the humility is the thinking less of oneself. Don't just think about yourself. Just don't keep thinking of yourself. But think how we can serve and help others. Yes. But it's not that, oh, I'm worthless, I'm this, that. That's not humility. Humility is actually the opposite of that. Arjun, when he was fighting, he was very humble because he accepted what his nature is, what his abilities are, but he accepted. He was grateful, not arrogant. He did what he was supposed to be doing, but he was not thinking, oh, look, I'm shooting this arrow. You see these new movies and they say, oh, muscles bulging, this, that, and Arjun didn't have time for that. So even when we are practicing devotion, we are not like, oh, sitting and now everyone's watching, so I'll close my eyes and then I will now chant Hare Krishna, Krishna. That's not humility. I don't even know what that is. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Yeah. Thank you. Did I answer your question maybe? You had a question, Prabhu? Yeah. You internalize. Don't have others internalize. Yes. The world is going to treat us the way the world is going to treat us. A revolution starts with one person. Yes, I think in India they celebrated Mahatma Gandhi's appearance day. Yes, Martin Luther King, one person. Doesn't take much. It's the internalization of what we really believe in, which is the strength that can overcome everything. Now, yes, you have to use the intelligence that has been given to us to properly live in the world that we live in. But we never compromise on the principles and the basis on which we live. Because effectively it's not about, the unfortunate part is we're looking at success based on what others think about us. Success is never that. Because believe it, when we leave, no one really thinks about us. Forget about what they think about us. Success is about where we are internally. Yes? It's not so much about the interaction of the others. So whatever is necessary in your workplace and this, that and the other, and to compete and to do the right things, do it. But do it with integrity. Do it with conviction. Do it with the knowledge that I'm not this body, I'm the soul. We were just talking with Premachandra Prabhu. I don't know, he's a senior director at Accenture, and discussing, what kind of forums, what kind of seminars. We've done a few with the city of Dallas, with other cities, with the corporates and so on and so forth. And every company talks about core values. Do you agree? Everyone talks about core values. Respect, trust, integrity, accountability. And you have you are in a unique position to understand these core principles from the basis of what Srila Prabhupada, what the scriptures, what the Vedic system talks about, and to help your companies grow based on the values that they have set for themselves, because there is so much more depth that we can offer on those very values. And why do those companies have those values? Because they realize when the employees have those values, the company becomes more profitable. When the employees are more respectful towards each other, when the employees are accountable, they have integrity, the company profits. So these dharmic principles that we talk about are not just, they're there. It's just that the implementation of that has been covered with, I guess, goals that are not necessarily aligned. Yes. So the expectation is, why are we doing this? It's not just for money, but we are doing this so that you make profits based on those principles, so that employees can be happy and they can grow spiritually while the company makes money. Don't switch that around. The company makes money and then we'll figure out whether the employees are happy. Yes, we switch that around. Yes. And even in our own personal lives, we do the same thing. Switch it around. Base our life and the foundation of it on the spiritual principles. When we internalize those and when we become strong there, everything else is simple. Make sense? Have I answered your question? Maybe? Yes. Yeah. Any more concerns? Difficulties? I mean, yes. You get the mic, you're special.
So, I don't know if I'm phrasing this properly, but like for internalization of your thoughts and everything, I think it's very necessary for us to have a personal connection with Krishna. But like whenever I'm trying to, like personally connect, like there's always a sense of formality or like a formal connection that's greater than the personal connection. But my aim is like I want to have a more deep sense of personal connection. So how do I proceed?
Namas Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukta Abhinnatvam Nama Namina. Yes. It's the essence of what bhakti is. As we practice bhakti, initially we are in the Vaidhi stage. We are practicing because, as you said, it's a formal relationship. We have been told this is our relationship with Krishna. Krishna is God and we are His servants. But as we progress in our Vaidhi situation, in our sadhana, yes, every single day, under the proper guidance of someone who can help us, then the personalization of Krishna through the formalities happen. When we are chanting the holy names, it's not that we are chanting a mantra. We are having a conversation with someone who is real. Krishna is a person. When we chant Krishna, He is there as a person. He's sitting right next to you. When you chant Hare Krishna, He's right there with Radharani. He's personally present there. And we become aware of that. And we see that He is helping. In the process of Vaidhi, what also happens as we progress is we actually see those anarthas, or rather those difficulties that are pushing us away from Krishna. And then we become helpless. When we become helpless, we need someone to hold our hands. And that's when we really cry out to Krishna, Krishna, where are you? Can you please help me? And a concept is not going to help there. You need a person. And then that's when Krishna personally helps. And the more we are helpless in our chanting and in the performance of our sadhana, each and every time when we chant, we just, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's praise. Hai Nanda Tanuja Kinkara Patita Ma Vishame Bhavam Budho Kripaya tava pada pankaj. I'm suffering, I'm drowning in an ocean of misery. Please help me. I do not know where I'm going. I do not know where my heart is. I do not know what the purpose of my life is. Please guide me. And Krishna will personally guide us. And as we progress, that personal relationship matures. Where we then don't come in front of the Lord and see just, two pieces of stone. Yes, we see Radha and Krishna. Yes, and we see how beautifully they are dressed, and we're happy to see them dressed like this, and we want to make them even more beautiful. Yes, we make them beautiful garlands, we make them beautiful preparations, we arrange everything not just for them, but as we mature even further, we see that Krishna is present within the hearts of each and every person, everyone. And we want to serve them so that everyone is happy. So it's a progression, if I may, in the personalization process. But it initially starts with a formal relationship, which we follow under the guidance of a pure devotee, of the spiritual master, and the natural love awakens. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabinoy. Shravanadi Shabda Chitti Korilay Uday. Yes. Just by hearing, that natural tendency reawakens within our heart. Does that answer your question a little bit? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop. 6:22. He asked me to stop, so I'm going to stop. Oh, there's one more question? Okay, no, he needs the mic. Yeah, thank you very much. Very much. Good luck with Kartik. Please pray for me also. So that we can all have a wonderful Kartik month. And hopefully the consciousness of that month stays with us eternally. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai.